Hello everyone, today we're going to be walking out into the middle of the Thames Estuary, hence why I'm dressed in this interesting fashion. I just bought this brand new pair of waders, hopefully they're going to keep me dry on this walk. I've already gotten a few comments on them, but I think they look pretty snazzy to me. Now we're going to be going out into the estuary off the coast of Southend to check out a Mulberry Harbour. This was built in D-Day in 1944 and they basically were floated out in the English Channel to act as resupply points for the Allies as they invaded Europe to take it back from the Nazi Germans. So somehow one of these Mulberry Harbours became detached or it's brought somewhere out this way. It got a hole in it or something, it started to sink and it broke into two pieces where it remains out in the Thames Estuary. I've wanted to go and see it for a long while, but because of the tides being so treacherous that far out into the sea, I've not wanted to do it on my own. So I'm going to be going with a group called Hike Essex. They're doing a guided walk and I'm just going to turn up and tag along. Joe unfortunately can't come because of the timing of this walk, he's still at work. So without further ado, let's put these bad boys to the test. Let's hopefully get to the harbour and let's go and check it out. So we're doing it. It was pouring with rain when I was driving here, like absolutely chucking it down. I did think it was going to still be on, but I wanted to do it, so I just persevered. And it turns out the rain is actually, the clouds have cleared out in the estuary somehow. So I think we're going to be lucky, and there's a lot of people that are still here despite braving the awful rain. Yeah. Bit of a channel on our hands, but
it's quite warm though, isn't it?
Whoops. Don't want that to get damaged. We're getting near, but the rain's coming in. So I've made it out here, got Southend Pier over in the distance there, Southend town, then we come around to Fort Bay, and here is the bad boy. We've made it out. The weather, we saw this massive cloud coming overhead and it actually just passed over, so we were quite lucky. But it's a really good little site, actually quite impressive, and it's really isolated out here. Glad to have finally made it. Very cool. I'm glad I persevered. And look, you got like ships going by in the distance. We're a lot nearer to Southend than Kent, but we're still a long way out in the estuary, and this probably gives me a bit more confidence to do this again sort of on my own. Now it is actually really deep around the harbour. I don't know if the sort of water is hollowed out around it, but it's like kind of quicksand in there, so personally it's a bit difficult to get near. But you know, I suppose you could climb on it, but frankly there's not much to it, and the top of it is actually hollow. It's actually a kind of mesh, like a grid. I suppose they would have attached platforms or supplies to it, but it's not necessarily like a building per se. So Yeah, but we can walk all the way around it still and get a really nice view of this bad boy that I've wanted to see for a long while. D-Day's memorial in Southend, and this gentleman was telling me that basically this one was meant to go out to France, probably from Tilbury or something. Maybe it was made down that way, and on the way to D-Day it sprung a leak, so they had to leave it whilst all the others went off to Normandy. Pretty sad story really. So this one probably never saw service, and apparently that thing up there is a weather station, because that's definitely something that's been added more recently than World War II. So we're walking back now from the Mulberry Harbour back to Southend. There she is, out in the sunset of the Thames Estuary. Completed it. I almost didn't come, and I'm so glad I did. The rain hasn't even been that bad. There was a few bad spells, but for the most part it's been good, and it's really amazing to finally see the behemoth that is the Mulberry Harbour.